My beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every day with a fresh, hot, black cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. And of course, I think of my favorite quote of the century by Oscar Wilde, which says, "Life is too important to be taken seriously, so lighten up, folks." So today's topic is, drum roll please, fierce annual events, part 4, yay! So part 1 was the overview. Part 2 and 3 were two leather events, IML and Pantheon. So this is the third leather event, which also happened in 2002, called LLC, Leather Leadership Conference. So as opposed to IML, which was like an actual contest, and then Pantheon, which is like more an awards thing, recognizing people from within the leather community all over the nation, LLC happens in New York City. I don't know if it still does or not, but it did for many years, and hence the title Leather Leadership Conference. It's more of a seminar where, like, people from all over, different experts within like different topics of like the leather lifestyle, they come and they teach these like seminars, conferences, and it was like a full long weekend of like all these different topics and guest speakers, and it's interesting because like some people might like look at the whole leather lifestyle as just like, oh yeah, like people want to dress up and like have fun or have sex, but there's so much more to it than that. Like, people that do live this as an actual lifestyle, it's not a dress up thing, it is a way of life. So when you look at it that way, like any other life, if someone has, well, I'm put in air quotes, like a so-called normal, or let's say a non-leather lifestyle, there are seminars and topics just pertaining to living. So it's the same thing with this, just that they are geared towards the leather lifestyle. So it's fascinating to me. I mean, I can't say, I'm kind of in it, but it's not like, my everyday living is pertaining to that, or my lifestyle per se, because in my case there's so many different parts of me, but multifaceted, as it were. But what was great about that weekend was I volunteered. So what would happen is, like, they would assign you different like seminars, and they would last like an hour and a half, and it was like every day they'd be back to back, and some happening at the same time. So then like people would attend this, and I guess go to whichever seminar they were interested in attending. So then at each seminar they would have a volunteer be there to sort of like introduce the guest speaker or guest speakers, if it was more than one, and just kind of like make sure everything was fine, and then like at the very ending, like, thank everyone for coming, all of that, and there'd be like a Q&A. So for me it was wonderful also, because like it was myself, my friend Bunnies, hey Bunnies, and there would like one or two other volunteers. So the days that we did it, they would say, all right, who wants to do, this one or that one, or they would assign, but you had the capability of like switching. So if there was a certain topic that maybe I was really interested in hearing, but it was assigned to someone else, then we would switch, because then, I viewed it as like a learning experience as well. And, then of course, I'd have my little moment going up there and introducing them, and I'm not very shy in front of an audience. So it was wonderful. And, if it was, again, like I've said this in the other two videos, a sense of community, but in this one, a real sense of community, but a sense of also like learning from one another, and, seeing, what other things you can discover, about the lifestyle or about a specific topic. So, and I remember it took place at the New Yorker Hotel, which is on 34th and 8th. So that was kind of wonderful too. And like, it very much like all of these conferences or weekend getaways, there's the socialization aspect, but there's also the aspect of learning and feeling that sense of community. And I think for me, like even when I was Empress and I would travel, with my drag and do these weekend coronations, it was the same thing, those are more about fundraising. This particular one was not, but again, it's that sense of community. So LLC, Leather Leadership Conference. Check it out. All right, guys, don't forget, subscribe if you have not, thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for being here with me. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Love you.